Okay, so now we will go over the rhetorical analysis essay strategies. So again, I've listed the criteria for scoring an 8 on the document, which will be in the description below, which I recommend that you use. Now, of course, there will be some typos on both any documents that I give you ever. There will, of course, be some typos on there because I do these fairly quickly so that I can get them out to you as soon as possible, because I'm very bad at procrastinating and I end up doing it last minute, just like how I'm doing this last minute, because the exam is, for me, tomorrow. So I will read the criteria for scoring an 8, and then I will reiterate what I believe you should do during this essay. So essays earning a score of 8 effectively analyze the choices the speaker makes to convey his or her message to the audience. They develop their analysis with evidence and explanations that are appropriate and convincing, referring to the passage explicitly or implicitly. The prose demonstrates a consistent ability to control a wide range of the elements of effective writing, but is not necessarily flawless. Now, implicitly or explicitly just means that you're either quoting or paraphrasing, and that's it. Make sure you're citing the documents anytime, no matter what, whether you're citing, whether you're quoting directly or you're paraphrasing, you still need to cite your source. Okay, make sure you cite your source. It's very important. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a 4 or like a 3. Okay, make sure you cite your sources. The prose demonstrates as I had already said before, for the purposes of scoring, analysis means explaining the rhetorical choices an author makes in an attempt to achieve a particular effect or purpose, which is straight from College Board. Link is in the document. That is in the description. In the rhetorical analysis, you should focus on the strategies used by the speaker of the text and how they effectively develop his or her argument, support his or her purpose, and propose his or her message. It is recommended that you spend about 40 minutes on this essay. This document will be a guideline of strategies that you can use to get a higher score on your rhetorical analysis essay, just like how my synthesis essay one is for getting a higher score on that one as well. So this one is fairly short. There's only 3 strategies for this one because this is very quick, very fast. And for argument essay, there are no strategies. There's no format. You just need to write, use as much evidence as you possibly can. You don't need to cite. Just try and write an argument essay, which is fairly simple, it's standard, and it's not really that much AP, so I will not review it in my strategies, in a strategies video, because it's relatively simple. Just look on College Board what other people do, and if you want, you can just write a bunch of evidence. You don't need that much analysis. You don't need a good claim, good thesis. Just make sure you have a ton of evidence. Make sure you explicitly state your argument, what your argument is, and have a ton of evidence, and you're certain to get a 6. That's just my belief because that's worked for me in the past, but I believe that that will work for anyone as well. As long as you have good evidence, it has to be good evidence, and you have to explicitly state your argument. Otherwise, your evidence isn't really proving anything, and you will not do well. But make sure your analysis is well-rounded. If you want to do well on your argument essay, just make sure everything is well done, well written. Just follow what your teacher has told you in the past. If you have not paid attention, then that's too bad. Just look at essays online on College Board. And now, I digress, let's go back to the rhetorical analysis essay. Read the entire prompt. Okay. The prompt for the rhetorical analysis essay is fairly short. It includes the name of the author, the subject of the test, and sometimes the audience. It will also include a few contextual points that might be useful for understanding the point of view of the author, the audience, and possibly the purpose. Okay, so read those few sentences at the top that are going to be in italics, or if they're not in italics, it's just going to be those few sentences at the top that are going to help you with understanding the text and developing your essay. Okay, so read the text twice. So this is important. You need to read the text twice. Take about 15 minutes to do this. Read the entire text thoroughly once. Okay, look for important parts and leave a star or some other note or some other sign or symbol to tell yourself in the future that this is an important part. Next to the portion of the text, these important parts should consist of contextual information, evidence for the purpose, audience, and message, and possibly examples of rhetorical strategies. After your first read-through, create a brief rhetorical triangle of the text, Then reread the text, only looking at the notes of the rhetorical strategies you made the first time, and thoroughly analyze their usage and effectiveness. This will be very useful when you start writing your essay. Take about 15 minutes to do this, and then you'll have 25 minutes to actually write your essay. Okay? Now, the next strategy is write the essay. This essay type requires the most analytical thinking, but the least amount of evidential support and length. For this essay, I believe I have found a suitable, efficient structure for the essay that saves time and tackles every requirement. Spend about 25 minutes, as I had already said before, writing the entire essay. Then move on to the argument essay after you finish that. Okay, here is the structure. Introduction, context of the text topics, thesis, purpose, audience, strategies, 2 to 3 of those. I'm not going to go over this. It's on the document. I suggest you use it, and it's very useful. And there's also a few examples from College Board on the document as well. And I hope you do well writing your essays in the future. And that is all for this video.